Welcome to Beyond Our Focus. I'm Stefan, this is Amanda, and this is Unlocking the Beyond, where we delve into the unknown and go over things and try to answer questions and relay that information to you in a manner that we like. Today is May 29th.
I feel like you almost forgot what show we were on.
There's a show, it's happening.
There was a moment where this fear just registered.
It's May 29th, and today it's our kind of random week, so it can be anything. Completely anything. Randomness with strange letters asking about your newborn child. Maybe not.
Okay, well, that went creepy really damn fast. Yes.
So, what are we talking about?
I don't know anymore. Today we are going over urban legends. Okay, and no, not the movie. The movie was actually pretty good. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. Could it possibly be the one thing I've been trying to get a picture out of my head with is the one movie that is urban legends? Because that would make a lot of sense.
I know I've seen that movie. I don't remember what it was, though.
It was sorry, I totally spaced out for a minute.
I don't know what it is
either. It was literally a movie where the murders start occurring based off urban legends. Everything from there's someone in your back seat to flashing your lights at somebody while you're driving by because they don't have their lights on. I believe it did have like the hook on the side of the car thing, which is the one that while I was researching, I was trying to remember there was a scene from a movie where they hear like scraping, so the guy gets out, and then she hears tapping on the top of the hood, and she freaks out, and then gets out only to find that her boyfriend is like hung upside down, and his fingers are tapping against the top of the thing.
Yeah, it's the whole thing.
Yeah, so could not remember whether it was from Supernatural, it might have been from Urban Legends.
I think it might be from this movie. I recognize the cover.
Because Supernatural had a hook man, too. So, I don't know.
There's hook people all over the place.
There's hook people.
People love hooks.
Yes. People love hooks. Talk to the captain. I don't know.
Just a movie. It's just called Stab 3.
God damn. I'm done. I'm done with life. At least it might be an original movie, considering everything these days is a remake. Now, moving forward.
People like remakes.
So, of course, there's so many variations of the Hookman, stuff like that. And so it's very popular with the parents and stuff that when your child is being a little termite, to just be like, hey, if you don't do this hook guy is going to get you. No one, your
Is it one of their fancy names, the hook guy?
Yeah. No, literally the legend is just the Hookman. Oh. But in Staten Island, New York City, they did have a hookman, essentially. Really, it was their very own boogeyman. The parents would tell their kids, hey, if you're not back by this time, if you're not good, Cropsy is going to get you. Cropsy.
Why Cropsy?
How did the word
Cropsy get associated?
That I don't know, actually. It was the one thing I didn't stumble into. And maybe I just didn't dig deep enough, but
Cropsy.
It's... But
Hookman Cropsy.
Yes. So Staten Island, New York, it kind of centers around the Willowbrook State School, which is a school for the mentally disabled children, I believe. And it was open for a while, but it was shut down in 1987, 88 because the conditions were found out to be horrible. So it got shut down. But the legend of Cropsy pretty much just was one of those things you tell your kids to frighten them into doing whatever you want them to do. But it turns out that area did have something that was going around kidnapping children. So, not really a good thing to find out. But, of course, another legend is that it was an escaped mental patient. Or some guy that had escaped from like a Seaview hospital and they were going to drag you in. And
well, mental institutions are famous for being...
Yes.
They're crazy people in some manner, so they must want to escape and kill people.
But the sad truth is that Allegedly, because technically they only charged him for one of the murders, I believe. It was a janitor who actually worked at Willowbrook. His name was Andre Rand. And he... Oh,
Or sure wasn't like Michael Myers. We learned that he resided in one of these as well. And got out recently, too.
Yes. No, he didn't.
I mean, I saw him. He escaped. I saw the whole thing unfold.
Oh, you mean...
He went after this poor woman and her kids.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness.
It was actually really good.
It was decent. It was decent.
I'm just saying.
Off topic. Anyways, but yes, in 2004, he was actually finally convicted for a murder, considering that all the rest of them, no bodies were discovered or there was just not enough evidence. So he was charged with kidnapping, but not murder. And then finally, when he was on parole, they finally convicted him for a murder. Yay! Psycho people. Well, the weird thing is that these children kept disappearing, and yet the one thing that connected him is, oh, he was last seen with that dude, and he was last seen with that. Really, you'd think he'd connect the dots a little faster.
You would hope so.
So yes, that is urban legend turned real. So let's jump on over to our next one, which is in New Jersey. And this one is actually a bit more recent, 2015.
Wasn't the last one in New Jersey?
No, the last one was in New York. A lot of news.
Really close.
A lot of news.
It's really close.
You have New York City, and then you have New Jersey, okay?
They're too close together, okay? They're too close together. Too many urban legends.
So what you're saying is that Andre Rand is actually the Watcher. Is that what you're trying to say?
Why not?
No.
He never really died. He's still around.
God.
Or his son.
Oh, so you're saying his grandfather watched over, and then that's what he's
exactly.
talking about.
I mean, he's one of them.
Okay, so in Westfield, New Jersey, apparently there is a $1.3 million house that is being guarded and protected by someone named the Watcher. So, assuming you purchased this house because you got the money.
Who watches the Watcher?
Yes. I don't know. Who watches the Watcher? Really? Really?
It's close. Come on. Oh.
In other news, I quit this podcast. Anyways, so apparently you start receiving letters. And these letters are just signed by someone who goes by the Watcher. He claims that his grandfather was watching it, what did I say, the 40s? Or the 20s or 40s, somewhere around there. Then his father was watching it in the 60s, and now it is his turn. Or hers, I don't know. Did it say him? Did it say? It could be her.
It didn't specify.
We didn't really say.
And we wouldn't actually know unless the letters have specified if it's a him or her.
This is
it
true.
did say grandfather and father, so it kind of goes to the assumption
like
a male
line.
thing.
Yeah. But I don't remember. And I think in most of the places that you do the research, they go by he. And all the people they've looked into have been sons or hims.
Yeah, so
but
it seems more likely, but just to throw you off. That's why they can't find them.
It could be. But yes, so you apparently get letters, and you're like, oh, okay, so this guy just protects the house. I have a neighborhood watchman. Sweet. Not so sweet. Then he wants to know about your young bloods, which we're going to all assume that's the children. How have you brought the young bloods that I requested, pretty much? Like, have the young bloods, will they be playing in the basement? And which person is going to have the room, like the bedroom, facing the front of the house? And you're just like, dude, first of all, no. Okay, I just moved in, and now I already have someone staring. Have they discovered what's in the walls? I think this is a $1.3 million house. You think I'm going to be tearing up the walls to find whatever you've hidden in there? Really?
Might be a good idea.
You'd think someone would at some point.
There's a lot of walls.
But apparently this is the third person who's owned this house, the third person who's gone through this, and they are officially suing the last family that lived in the house.
If it's $1.3 million, At that point, are you rich enough to just say, we're just hire security guards because we have that type of money, and we're just going to live here. We'll just see what happens.
I don't know. Apparently, this is eerie enough for people to move out, because from questioning neighbors and stuff like that, the actual families themselves have been super nice. Like, they're like, oh, this family is actually really nice. Nothing was really wrong with them, everything. The people are just creeped out. Like, they're just creeped out that someone apparently is watching through their bedroom windows and stuff like that.
The thing is, are they watching?
See, we don't know.
Or is it just letters saying that I'm watching,
yes.
and this guy's just having one heck of a chuckle in his basement somewhere?
And that's the thing.
He could be out of state for all we know. We have no idea.
No one knows. It has been investigated by just people who've done individual investigations. The police apparently are still looking into this. And it's just one of those things where you don't really know if it's a hoax. You don't know if someone mentioned that maybe it was to, lower sale prices and stuff like that. Like a sales hoax pretty much. Some people think it's a tourist thing. We don't really know, and for all we know, it's one of those things where it's like, well, how creepy do the letters actually get? Like, to the point where maybe the first one you're like, okay, this is a joke, and then do they just get darker and darker to the point where you're like, if I stay here, is something actually going to happen, and no one's reached that point yet?
I think he's out of country. He just sends letters. He's like, this is great. This is just great.
We all laugh and joke about that. Like, okay, they're just non-threatening letters, blah, blah, blah. But it's like, what if no one's stayed to the point where something does happen? And that's just why this person's never been caught. So people, buy this house and stay. Just stay. See what happens.
See what happens, if anything happens.
But yes, the current family that just sold the house apparently is suing the previous owner because they failed to mention that this house comes with a creeper. It is too damn late. It is too damn late to start that thing. We will now at least know that we're talking for 1 minute, okay?
Yeah, we've been going for about a solid 10. So,
but yeah.
What other one thing would we like to touch on as far as urban legends?
Well, I mean, there's always the Oregon I almost called him Bondage Man.
Oregon Bondage Man.
Oregon Bandage Man, who apparently eats dogs and kills people and jumps in the back of your vehicle and smells like rotting flesh.
Bondage Man.
Bondage Man.
Bondage Man.
We already talked about the Hook Man. And no, Jesus, not Devil's Hook Man again.
I mean, it just keeps producing plenty of things out of it.
I read Hook Man. But either way, or there's, of course, the liquor, which you had never heard of.
I have heard of the liquor. Yeah. I've totally heard of the liquors.
Yeah, today.
I mean, we all know the classic liquor for Resident Evil 2. Come on. You've seen him. He's skinless. He's got, he can't see. He's got a super long tongue. He's very dangerous. So,
apparently, he has never heard the urban legend of the liquor.
And neither did anybody else.
Until today. And I felt very alone today because apparently I was the only one who had heard of it. And so I want to see if you guys know what the legend of the liquor is. So if you guys know, put it in the comments below. Come back to us. I would like to hear it so that I can prove I am not the only one out there. Even if it was just from Urban Legend, because they might have gone over it in there. It might have been in that movie. To which case, then you do know and you don't remember.
You know what? I don't remember anything from that movie. Except maybe that one scene.
So, please comment below. Let me know I'm not alone. And that'll be all for today.
You didn't say what the liquor was.
No, I'm going to have them do it.
What?
I'm going to have people say that I am not the only one out there who knows what the liquor is.
But why would we tell them? We brought it up. You brought it up.
It's an urban legend. If they know what it is, they would know what the liquor is. Because we're
supposed to be telling people what the urban legends are.
Oh my goodness. It is the last one.
It is our job to tell people the urban legends.
And you just said, apparently I'm the only one who knows about this, so I'm proving you wrong.
You can just Google it. I could Google it right now.
You have no faith in our people.
Liquor or liquor?
Liquor? Is that what you're going to use that? Okay.
What search result are we getting?
Do us a favor and Google liquor and just not show it to anybody because I don't want to know.
I'll do the same thing. See what you get.
Oh, Jesus, no. Okay. So, fine. Urban legend, the liquor. Obviously, little girl, doggy, has her hand over the bed. The dog licks her hand. lets her know, hey, you're cool, I'm there, okay. So one night she wakes up, hears dripping noises, goes to investigate, can't find anything, comes back, goes to, like, puts her hand down, her hand gets licked again. She's like, okay. So a few minutes later, she really just, this dripping continues, goes, investigates more, finds her dog hanging there with a sign that says humans can lick too. And the urban legend is called the Licker.
But see, did this happen like multiple times, or it's just this one instance of this one case of this one girl?
It's an urban legend. This is the one I did not look into because I researched the other ones.
But you were so enthralled by this particular one.
It's one of those ones that's just passed down. Like,
Did it happen to one of your ancestors?
Yes, it did.
Passed down from family member to family member. Keep an eye on your dog, otherwise people might lick you.
Apparently, I went to more, like, ghost stories around the campfire things than you did growing up. I'm feeling like this is what's happening here. Because I used to hear all these stories, like, maybe I just hung out with a bunch of creepy people, and I'm okay with that, but these are the kinds of things we would talk about. It's just random urban legends and spooky shit, and I loved it.
I feel like my mind's way too logical to believe a lot of spooky stuff. It's like...
You don't have to believe it to find it fun.
To find it fun.
Yes.
Murdering psychopaths and hanging dogs and people licking your fingers and stuff. It's fun.
It is fun.
Bondage men and licking fingers.
It's bandage
all around the Devil's Hole. It's a grand, fantastic time.
No, the whole point of this is you're sitting around a campfire, you tell these stories to each other, and then it is time to go to sleep, and you try sleeping in the woods after that shit.
Anytime. I love sleep. God, it's so good. It's so wonderful.
You're absolutely no fun. On that note, guys, comment below if you guys have any great urban legends, whether they're local legends or just your favorite all-time around the campfire ghost stories. Scary stories to tell in the dark does not count because I have all 3 of them and I've read them all. Which those are all fun too, but I mean, I guess you can include those because I like you guys.
Making a show of that or a movie of that.
Yes, they are making a movie of it, and I'm kind of excited, and I'm also not so excited because, one, I'm curious to see which stories they pick, or if they're doing all of them, which would be kind of weird, and 2, how they go about it, because if it's cheesy, I will cry, because those stories used to scare me, because I'd read them in the basement of my house, and it would freak me the hell out.
Just in the basement?
Yes.
Will the young bloods be playing down there? Were you one of those young bloods?
Yes, we were, but our house definitely was not $1.3 million. Holy crap. If it was, I think the basement would have been a bit nicer.
Probably.
The basement probably would have been another house.
Probably.
So guys, please comment below with your scary stories or your urban legends, because I would love to hear them. He's no fun. He doesn't care about them. I do.
It may be interesting to hear what you got to say. It's always interesting to hear what you have to say. Or whether I believe it or not, it's a completely different thing, but it's interesting to hear.
It's not about believing. It's about getting that fear high. It's just the one.
But if you don't believe it, you can't be very scared of it.
It's just
Can
creepy.
you be scared if you don't believe it?
Because some of these, like the ones that I read today, besides obviously Bandage Man, because I don't know where the hell that
Bondage Man?
But some of these either can be real or are just on that borderline of real, which makes some movies really creepy, is when they have that really scary factor because it could happen. And then you have the other ones which are completely ridiculous, but you find out they are actually based on events that just got through a bad
way out of proportion.
Through a bad game of telephone.
I think most of these things are bad. I mean, the Missouri Dragon or the bad kid's telephone, okay? At no point did anyone ever see it remotely be a dragon, but it's a dragon!
I guess in some of the stories it breathed fire. I don't know where the hell the fire came from, but...
Peach Dragon. That's all I've got, okay?
Now, like I've tried to do 3 times now, comment below, like the video if you enjoyed it. Please subscribe to our channel if you'd like to see more of these episodes. And talk to him for the rest of the outro.
Yeah, as always, you can reach me at Stars and Trials. Reach Amanda at KC Pup. Reach the show at Beyond Your Focus everywhere, including YouTube and podcast services around the globe. Maybe. Including the Devil's Hole. That's always important.
With Bondage Man.
With Bondage Man and liquor. So, these are all things that are happening now.
Find us again by the campfire. Ignore everything he just said and have a good day.
Or have a bad day if people are sending you creepy letters.
Yes.
So, till next time, long days and pleasant nights.